Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second season of Tell Me That. In this season, we will be asking my dad all questions that we have about life. These can be questions about career, personal development, or relationships, or whatever we can think of. So if you're interested in what my dad has to share this time, then stay tuned. Hello, Dad.
Hi, son. How's it going?
Very good, very good. How are you?
Alrighty. I heard your knee is getting better.
Yeah, it is. Not back to normal
Super.
yet. You'll see when I get home in a few days. No, but very good. I can walk normally,
Cool.
so that's fine.
Cool. So you were lucky, actually.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Oh,
second time I had this injury, so yeah, I'm used to
well,
it at some point.
in Germany they say all good things they come back three times.
Exactly. So yeah, probably in a few months, I'll be here again. Same thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So what are you up to today?
Well, another question
Well,
for you. You remember what we talked about last week? It was
oh
music,
yeah,
one
yeah.
of your passions.
That was good.
And now I have an idea because I want to talk about some more passions of yours. So,
Oh,
the idea that I have today is you and me, we both like cars,
yeah.
especially
Yes, yes,
you,
yes.
and we both like Porsche.
Oh yeah.
So, the question today is where did that passion come from? The passion for cars and the passion for Porsche.
Oh yeah. It's a good question. It's a good question. Because I like to talk about cars, I like to talk about Porsches.
Yeah,
Well, I must say, when I was a young guy, when I was 18 years old, I always wanted to have a car, and at that time, money was tight, and you had to take what you get.
yeah,
So, my first car was a Volkswagen Variant. It was like a station wagon, and I bought it for I think 1,500 Deutschmarks. It was in good condition.
yeah,
It was ugly,
yeah,
dark green,
yeah,
terrible. And on day one, I had my first accident with the car.
yeah,
I killed a Renault Dauphine convertible. That was the parking spot was just too narrow, and
yeah,
I tried to get in it, and I mean, first day and just a freshman in regard to driver license, and that was an expensive experience, but um, it actually gave me also some training in whenever you have a problem with the car, you don't need to go to a service station. You also can fix it yourself. So I bought a new fender, the left side. I think it was the left side in front, and I put that on. And I had a friend. He had a body shop,
yeah,
so car painting and all that. That was not a real issue. So I fixed the car, and my insurance company was not very happy about this. I mean, first day you have a car and you
yeah.
have already a. Well, I must say, the Renault Dauphine was totally damaged, so it could
Yeah.
not be fixed. But I also must say that Renaults at that time, uh, well.
Yeah.
To call them a car was actually a compliment.
Yeah.
So anyway, so and but I always like to drive cars, and uh, I had this car, well, 1 or 2 years, and then I needed to have something else. So I bought a Volkswagen Beetle,
Yeah.
which was in beige, light beige, nice, real nice car. But it had a terrible smell inside. The plastic smell. It's driving with that car for an hour, and oof, you felt terrible. So I had the car for like 3 months, and I sold it. Well, at that time, I started to be pretty good at buying and selling
Yeah.
cars. You know? So I sold the Volkswagen. I bought it for 1,300 Deutschmarks. I sold it for 1,700 Deutschmarks.
Okay.
And that actually showed me that, well, you could actually make money with that. Anyway, so, and then I got a Fiat, Fiat 850 Sport Coupe, which was a small sports car. Uh, it was, I mean, very lightweight, had 60 horsepower, but very lightweight, you know. It was like a little rocket. It was amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So, but the terrible at that time with Fiats was um, the rust they
Mm.
developed
Yeah.
was kind of faster than you could fix it.
Yeah.
And terrible that car. I mean, I bought well, it was a used car, of course. It was 5 years old, and I had the car for about a year
Yeah.
because you know in Germany every 2 years you have to go to the German TÜV. They check the car,
Yeah.
and when I bought it, it still had 1 year of TÜV, and I took that car to my friend that had that body shop,
Yeah.
and he put it on his lifting platform, and he looked. He checked the car on the bottom, and he said, "Well, I'm not going to let you drive with that car any further because we're going to bring that car now to this junkyard there, and that's
Yeah.
it." You know. So I was without a car, and then. Well, at that time, in regard to cars, I had pretty good connections, you know. So
Yeah.
I thought, well, what can you do? And I called a few guys, and I knew one guy in Cologne. He actually bought cars that had been involved in an accident,
Yeah.
and he had like 40, 50 cars. Some of them they were heavily damaged, you know. And some cars they actually had only a small damage, and the people that owned the car, they rather gave the car to the insurance company than trying to fix it themselves. They rather took the money. So I bought a Ford Capri. Ford Capri, uh, green, light green. It was a beautiful car. It had a four-cylinder V4-cylinder engine, 90 horsepower. It was nice. It looked great. But after 1 year or 1 year later, I needed to have something a little bit faster, and I got the opportunity to buy another Ford Capri, a 2.6 liter RS Ford Capri RS 2.6 liter. It had like what was it, like 150 horsepower, a very a V6 engine. It's the sound was great,
Yeah.
and it was white. After I mean, I really loved that car. Just the sound of it was just great, and I also was involved in an accident with that car. A motorcycle driver, he cut the right away,
Mm.
and I just hit him, and the motorcycle went below the car. The driver was above the car. You know, terrible experience.
Yeah.
But he wasn't hurt that bad. He just had a broken leg, and that was it. But my car was damaged, totally damaged. So I bought a Ford Escort.
Hmm.
Ford Escort, the rally version
Yeah.
with a lot of these big lamps in front. You know, it was a great car. But at that time, and I had that car for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And but at that time, my older brother, who also was like a maniac when it came to cars, and he was at that time into British cars. He bought a his first car was a Triumph MK3.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's With the car, I think you always got a repair box with it,
Yeah.
because there was always something wrong with that car, but it was a nice looking car. It was a convertible, and it was certainly a car. His intention at that time, of course, was to kind of impress the blondes,
Yeah.
and so I mean, from a practical point of view, that a car it was kind of useful. And he had that car for a couple of years, 2 3 years, and then he bought a, and that was something really special. He bought a Sunbeam Alpine
Hmm.
Tiger, also British sports car, convertible, small but extremely powerful. And it was such a beautiful car. But he had the car only a year, 1 year, and then he traded the car in for a Porsche uh, 56,
Yeah. Yeah.
356 Super 90 with the 90 horsepower engine. Um, Dark green with a big yellow strip in the center, like a rally strip. It looked so beautiful, that car. Inside there were like red leather seats, and quality wise it was such a difference between the junk cars that I had
Yeah.
before. So at that time, and from a technical point of view, it was so different. And at that time, I kind of developed a passion for Porsches.
Yeah.
And but I never had the money at that time to buy myself a Porsche, and I was kind of disappointed when my brother sold the car, uh, and because I mean at that time already, if you had a good Porsche 356 for sale, I mean you could get a real good price for it, and so he sold that car. And at that time, it was actually the time when I went to the United States. And in the United States, I I bought a my first car in the United States. That was terrible. Because well, I have to start from the day when I said, well, so now today I'm going to buy a car.
Yeah.
And my colleagues, they said, well, do you want one of us to join you?
Yeah.
Because you have to be kind of careful, with these
Yeah.
guys, these salesmen. And I said, well, listen, I'm old enough to buy a car. And they said, well, I mean, if you want to, go ahead. So I went to this dealership, Chevrolet dealership, and I bought a, oh, holy mackerel, what was the name? Chevy. It was it was a hatchback, like a coupe, but you could lift up the back door.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
three door car, and it was an automatic, and the engine was so weak.
Yeah.
It was so terrible, that car. That the engine it turned up to a maximum and then changed to the next gear.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. But
Yeah.
I met the salesman of the year, and that guy, he was really the born salesman, and it took him not long, and he sold that car to me. So I had that car only like 6 7 months, and then I bought myself a brand new Chevy Camaro, in light blue metallic color. Beautiful car. Beautiful car. Of course, a V8 engine, 5
Yeah.
liter V8 engine. So I was so proud, you can't believe it. My first brand new car. And I had the car for like a month. And then a colleague of mine, he asked me to borrow the car for the weekend because his
Yeah.
girlfriend from Germany was coming in, and the way I am, or the way I was always, I said, sure, come on, impress that girl, and you can have that car. And I got his old Delta 88, which was, I mean, junkyard on wheels,
Yeah.
just terrible, Anyway, for a weekend was not really a problem. So he got the keys of my car and he left the office. And half an hour later, he came back and he actually went with my car, with my beautiful Camaro, from the parking lot into the highway. And you know that Camaro has the front part is extremely
It's
long,
very long, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, apparently he went a little bit too much into that highway, and there was a
Okay.
big truck coming, and this front part of that car was gone. And
Yeah.
that car was barely 1 month old,
Shit.
So
Yeah.
I was so well sad, mad, and but I
Yeah.
mean these things happen in life, and he
Yeah,
was
sure.
almost crying, and so I took the car to the dealership where I bought it, and they fixed the car. It took them like 2 weeks, and
Jesus.
they repaid.
Holy
Well,
shit.
yeah, well, that was fast,
Yeah.
and they repainted the front part of the car.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like in Germany. In
Yeah.
Germany, if you bring a car to a dealership and you have like a fender replaced or a door and they repaint it, you don't see a difference.
Yeah.
But this car, the back part was just a touch lighter, brighter than the front part. So
Yeah.
they just didn't pick exactly the same color, And I said to the head of this body shop, I said, well, I mean, you have to redo that because it's not the same color. Can you see that? And he looked at the car and he said, come on, I mean, don't be so picky. It's the same color, according to the specs. And he showed me the paper, and I think according to the specs, that's the same color, and that's it. So there was just no chance to make them to redo that.
Yeah.
So, but from that day, I was not really happy with that car because, I mean, okay, Americans at that time they probably didn't know this because for them it's just a car,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if there is a little difference in the paint, or in the color, it's the heck with it, But for me, as picky German, I mean,
Yeah.
I still remember one scene. I went to Kroger's supermarket. I went on a parking lot with my Camaro, and a lady was taking the parking spot right next to mine. She opened the door and she hit the door of my car.
Yeah.
And I got out of my car, and I looked at it, and there was just a little dent in it, just
Yeah.
in the middle of that car, there was that little dent.
Yeah.
And I said, lady, I mean, look what you did. And she said, "Oh, well, so what? Is that a problem for you?" I said, yes, it's a new car. I mean, we got to do something about it. And she started laughing. She started laughing. I mean, tears, And then she turned away and then she went into that supermarket. So,
Jesus.
I mean, well, that's for the people in the United States. It's not really a big problem, Anyway, so there was my Chevy Camaro, and I sold it after 2 years, and I had I think a Ford Mercury just for my last year in the United States, which was a very comfortable car. I mean, comfortable means that driving more than 5 hours you get seasick.
Yeah.
Um, but then after a couple of years, I went to Brazil, and in Brazil I bought a Volkswagen Passat.
Yeah.
Volkswagen Passat TS. It was actually the top model that Volkswagen had in Brazil at that time. It very powerful engine. It had a back spoiler and front spoiler. It looked great, that car, real sporty car, very powerful and very nice design. But I still had this Porsche in my head. And whenever I had a chance to look at Porsches, to when there was a Porsche exhibition or Porsche dealership, and I always went there, look at the cars, and comparing these Porsches with other cars, Porsche was so different, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm a machine tool man,
Yeah.
and in the machine tool business, the way machine tools are designed, it's accuracy, precision, durability. It's machine tools are designed according to the highest standards,
Yeah.
and that was, and also I actually uh, had a degree at that time as a mechanical engineer, and my focus at that time was already on machine tools, development of machine tools. And so when I compared the Porsches with other cars, Porsche was the benchmark. Porsche
Yeah.
was the car. It was not just good enough, it was just perfect. And my boss in the United States even had a black Porsche. It was a 3-liter Porsche 911 SC.
Hmm.
And he had, well, he was hiding the car in his garage. And he took it only out on a weekend when he was taking a little ride with his wife, because he didn't want that his customers and his employees, that they knew that he had a Porsche. So, well, German
Yeah.
understatement. So, but I mean, whenever I had a chance to look at Porsches, to study Porsches, or to meet people that were driving Porsches, I was kind of hip and gone, because these cars were so impressive, and from technical point of view, design point of view, and so when I got back to Germany, I I worked my way up on the career ladder, and it didn't take long, and I had a company car, or I could choose a company car, and you see. The point is, even though you could choose your company car, it just didn't feel right, to tell your company that you'd like to have a Porsche as
Yeah.
a company car, because the first question they would ask you is, well, how are you going to place customers when you take them out for dinner? I mean, this is a fun car, but it's not really a company car.
Yeah.
So I bought BMWs, and for many many years I drove BMWs, the 500 series, 520 and 525. Nice cars, beautiful cars. Both cars had a V6 engine, and it was kind of fun, but it was not Porsche. So
Yeah.
and so when I started my company in Düren, well, as the owner of a company, you could actually say, well, now I'm going to have a Porsche as a company car. But it's not right. I mean,
Yeah.
in Germany, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You see, the big customers that I had, like Siemens or ThyssenKrupp, or I mean, these big companies, even on a director level, the people that didn't drive Porsche. So
Yeah.
I was kind of caught in that you cannot go with a Porsche to customers. So I I switched to Audi A6, great cars, wonderful, and but then came the time when I sold the company, and that was actually the time when I could make a decision, really decision, what kind of car I gonna drive, because
Yeah.
my life, my car, and I don't need to report to anyone. And so I bought my first Porsche, a
Yep.
new one, a Porsche Cayenne.
Yep.
At that time, it was a great car. It was an SUV, nice car, big car, quality wise unbelievable, performance wise great, but it was not a sports car. It was
Yep.
a like an SUV. So and uh, after 2 years, I asked your mom whether she would be interested to take over the Cayenne, because at that time I bought this other company here in Germany, this machine tool service company,
Yep.
at the and there I again I was kind of caught in that same situation again. I had to choose a company car, and I bought a Mercedes, an SUV. And but this Porsche virus, that was there, and it didn't take long, and I bought a. Well, you were actually part of it. Remember when
Yeah,
we
sure.
bought this Porsche 911, the model 964,
Of course.
and that was and that well, but the whole situation was something that happens once in a lifetime. You remember when our friend Harald, who owns that company, they're rebuilding old Porsches, the
Yep.
air cooled Porsches, when he called and he said, well, I have just the right car for you, and we looked at it, and it was this 30-year-old Porsche 964. It was like 26 years. Was it hidden in an old factory in Cologne with a big cover? It had a small accident in front. It was not much. It was just I mean, nothing that involves any suspension parts. It was
Yep.
just a so body work, so he asked us whether we are interested to buy that car. It had only like 10,000 miles, uh, and we bought the car on the spot, and he took the car apart in all single parts. He took the car apart and built it up again, and this is the car that is standing now in our garage.
Yep.
It has the license plate has a mark on it, an age, like
Yep.
historically valuable. So and whenever I drive in summertime, uh, whenever I drive with that car, there is not one ride that people don't come up to me and they say, "Wow, what a beautiful car! How old is it? And did you rebuild it yourself?" And so. Um, you make a lot of friends, with that car, and it didn't take long, and I discovered these Porsche meetings, or these
Yep.
old timer meetings that they have, especially in this area here. And each year, at least 2 3 times, I go to these meetings, and I always have that car as an exhibition piece, and people are just hip about it. And quite often they ask me if I would be willing to sell the car. And but this car is just family property, and it's
Yeah.
owned 50% by you and
Yeah.
50% by me. So there is just no way that I would ever think about selling that car, because I mean, the value of the car, it increases every year. Just no
Yep.
question about it. These air cooled Porsches, there are not that many available, and there are like 2 3 companies in Germany. They actually have a big business buying old Porsches, mainly from the United States, and rebuilding them, and put them up for sale. And when you see the prices, it's unbelievable.
Yep.
It's the value goes up every year. There is no going down for a year or for two. No, it goes permanently. It goes up. So, but when we bought that car, I started to buying some books about car design and about Porsche and about the company and especially about the Model 964. And it's really a passion. It's fascinating. It's amazing how that car is designed. You have to keep in mind at that time when the car was designed, it was actually in 1988. This Porsche was not in a good shape. The
Yep.
Porsche was actually close to closing the doors or being resold to whatever. I don't know, probably to Japanese company. And at that time, the CEO of Porsche, Wendelin Wedeking, his
Yep.
name, he decided that they have to change their car philosophy. So not just keep it kind of simple and no assistance in the car. They because at that time BMW and Mercedes they also offered these sport cars, but their cars they had this steering aids, they had brake assistance, they had I mean a lot of the air conditions and all that, and Porsche didn't have that. It was just a plain, solid sport car. And when they designed this Porsche 964, their philosophy was we keep the appearance of the car, we keep the body shape, because everybody that looks at the car has to recognize it's a Porsche. But almost 90% of the car, otherwise, the parts,
Yep.
almost 90% of the cars are new parts, new
Yep.
design parts. And it's whenever I get into that car and I go for a ride, it's so refreshing. I mean, it makes me 30 years younger. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
I get
just
that. I
well,
get
it
that.
is. It is just the sound and the way it handles. It's just beautiful. Just a great car. And a friend of mine, he just came to visit us. He had this new 911, the model 992. And yeah, it is a Porsche and it's a nice car, but it is already so far away from the original Porsche look. And also the way it drives and handles. Well, you can also get into a what is it, a Toyota Supra. It's when you are inside and you drive with the two cars, it's not that much of a difference. When you get into a 964, it's a different world. It's a
Yep.
totally different. No, so, but that's also the reason why this car, the license plate is limited for 7 months, so only for the summer season. And in winter time, the car stays in the garage. And when I'm looking forward to spring. Then I take the
Yeah.
car out again and I clean it up. The leather seats. It has these original leather seats. They get a touch up, with special. It's leather treatment. And when I'm done with the car, it takes me like half a day. When I'm done with the car, it's well, it looks like new.
Literally. Yep. It does.
I had it appraised actually with a company that specialized in doing something like that. It's a car, what is it? Classic car data appraisal or
Yep.
similar. And they rated as a 2 plus. I mean,
Yep.
one
Which
is the
is,
best,
yeah. Okay. But one
and
is
two
basically
two
new, like literally new.
well, yeah, right. So 2 plus, it's almost new with just a few whether it's on on the paint job or inside a little something, but it's barely new. So I'm very proud to have that car, and whenever I have a chance to get some good literature about Porsche, and because they come up once a year with a special edition. One time it was about convertibles, and one time it was about the turbos that they have. They are now 40 years old.
Yeah.
40 years ago, they came out with the first turbo version. It's so interesting to read that. And these people that have designed these cars, were not. It was well. It has never been a big factory, and at that time it was rather small. But it was just a group of people totally passionate, and a lot of hands-on experience, and for them it was well, I think they didn't do it for the money, they just didn't do it for to create a new Porsche again, and this
Yeah.
model 964, they did just a great job, and that car actually saved the company.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
because the sales numbers, they went up like crazy, and Porsche was saved. And then Wendelin Wedeking, he made some other good decisions in the 90s. In the 90s, well, it was something a lot of people they could not really understand, because to switch from an air-cooled engine to water-cooled engine, it was quite a step. A lot of people said no, then it's not a real Porsche anymore. Then it's just like a Japanese car. But he made it in kind of steps with the first model that was the uh, 99. No, not 997. Yeah,
Yep.
the
Yep.
997. No, the 996 actually.
Yep.
The
Right.
996. And he actually used the design of the 996, which had an engine that was the cylinder heads, they were water cooled,
Yep.
and the rest was air cooled. And this design, the engine and also the front part, was used for the new models that he designed, or he had designed the Boxster. It was just a plain convertible, a two-seater, and the Cayman, which was a
Yep.
small coupe. And it was, I mean, he made a lot of very good decisions, and people accepted uh, these cars as real Porsches. And when he came up with that 997 in the early 2000s, then I mean, in my opinion, it's the most beautiful Porsche that they ever designed.
Yeah, I
When you
really like the
see,
997. Yep.
look at the 997 Turbo, it's just a beautiful car. And then he brought that Cayenne on the market, and later on the little brother of the Cayenne, the Macan, the car that your mom is driving.
Yep.
Well, it's also a beautiful car.
Also a
It's
nice car,
also a
sure.
nice car, and inside it has that Porsche touch.
Yep.
It has that Porsche touch. I told you I was driving as a company car at that time. I was driving a Mercedes
Yep.
GLC,
Yep.
same size as the Macan, um, also an SUV. But when you got into that car, it was, I mean, yeah, very pragmatic
It's
design,
sterile. Yeah.
and
It's very sterile.
yeah, right, right. And when you get into that Macan here,
Yeah.
you have that Porsche feeling.
Yeah.
The dashboard and the center board, it's Porsche. And I'm wondering what they come up next with. And when they designed that, to get back to that 964 again, when they designed that car, they actually took a lot of the features from a prototype they had designed before, the 959.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have one today, they run between
Yeah.
2 and 3 million.
It's
It's
crazy.
unbelievable. So the 959, a lot of features of that 959, and they built only like 250 of that. A lot of these features went into that 964, and it's a beautiful car, and it's a lot of people say this one is actually the last real
Yeah.
Porsche they designed,
Yeah.
because the model that followed the 964, the 993,
Yeah.
had already this kind of well, I don't want to call it Japanese touch, but it was not that original Porsche body anymore.
Yeah.
The silhouette of that car was already a little bit different. So
Yeah.
the 964, this is something that is gonna stay in the family for
For sure. For
the
sure.
rest of
Yeah.
our life. So there's just no way that I ever will talk you into this selling the car.
No. No.
Um,
Such a beauty.
and I'm quite sure that when you gonna come home in summertime or come to visit us in summertime, that you're gonna enjoy
Of
that
course.
you're gonna enjoy driving that car. It's just beautiful. So,
Exactly.
well, but again, to answer your question, how did you become so passionate about Porsche? It was actually um, the time when my older brother, when he bought that
Yeah.
356, uh, beautiful car,
It's a beauty.
beautiful
Yeah.
car. And if you have one, if you own one today, an original one, it costs a fortune. It costs a fortune. It's unbelievable. A friend of mine, well, not a friend of mine, but a guy that I know that also has a service shop for Porsche cars. Uh, um, he drives a 356, but well, from the outside it looks like an
Yeah.
old 356, but engine and suspension is he has also a KW suspension, the same that
Yeah.
we have on the
Yeah.
964. And the engine that he has in the car, it's highly tuned,
Yeah.
so it's but it's he loves that car, and
It's a
he
fun
doesn't want to have
project. Yeah.
another one. Yeah, that's great. So well, but when my brother bought that 356, it was the day when I was sold on these Porsche cars. It was
Great.
just beautiful, and I was really sad when he sold that car. And well, but he was kind of crazy anyway.
Yeah.
So, but you see, this Porsche is like a virus,
Yeah.
and it also caught you.
It caught me.
The
100%.
Yeah, because I still remember two years ago when you went to made what was it, an apprenticeship or
Yeah, 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 an
at
internship. Yeah, an
an
internship.
internship at Manta
Manta
Racing
Racing. Yeah,
at the Nürburgring.
yeah,
You got caught from that virus.
yeah.
It's
Of course.
just, I mean, and they are very successful
Yeah,
with their two, what was it, the yellow and the green car, was it? Not?
yeah.
Yellow and Grello, or what they
Greeno,
call
and Grello. Yeah,
it? Green and Grello. And they actually won last year. They won the German championship, right?
they
And
won the DTM this
yeah,
year actually.
yeah, this year actually.
Yeah,
So great car, good company,
yeah,
very good company.
yeah.
And they are really the benchmark for a lot of companies that are trying to tune up these cars. But
But they also have
it's
massive
it's
support.
yeah,
They
of
belong to
course,
Porsche, so they have
they
massive
belong to
support.
Porsche, of
Yeah.
course. But it's not always the money. It takes the right
No, they have very
people
good people. Yeah, they're very
and the
talented
passion,
people.
and
Yeah,
the passion. That's the way it is. But all the cars I had before, they were just cars,
yeah,
and the Porsches that we have here now, uh, it's just great. Whenever sometimes I'm gonna take your mom's car, the Macan, and I go to buy some grocery or some. I go to the baker shop, or it's just it's a great feeling to drive a car like that.
Yeah.
So I just love it. I just love it. This is a little extra in my life that I have, and I'm gonna go on with that. So it would be very difficult for me to switch back to another car.
Yeah, I get that.
It's amazing. So yeah, well, I think that was the kind of a short version, but that was a little summary of what kind of cars I had in my life and how I developed a passion and I got to the Porsches and well, to put it all together, the best car in the world, the passion and all that. There's one name for it. It's the Porsche,
Yeah.
and it will always be. All right,
That
yes,
was great
son.
fun.
And well, I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it, and maybe I mean, it doesn't make sense to buy a Porsche in Dublin, I think,
No,
because
you can't drive it.
you you cannot really drive it there. But I'm
Yeah.
quite sure that one of these days, when you should get back to Germany, uh, you're
I'll
gonna
get
buy your
myself one.
Porsche.
Yeah.
You get one yourself, definitely. All right. Hey, it was great and a
That was
good
fun. Yeah.
question, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. So it's
Perfect.
it's always fun. Okay. Son, take care
You too.
and all the best. Take care.
See you. Thank you everyone for listening to this episode. If you're interested in what my dad has to share next time, then make sure to tune in again next week. And if you have any questions that you want my dad to answer, then please feel free to send them to us. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye.